This funnel's, made me well over $10 million. It starts with TikTok because it's one of the places you can go extremely viral. I push people to Instagram. Use the Instagram stories as a nurture sequence. First post is a poll, which gets some engagement. Second post is a question. Third poll is my student's testimonial. Fourth post is an offer. DMs come through. And I say, hey, look, here's the link to join, instructions. Since automatically everything's ready to rock and roll.
Your funnel is really unique because it's literally TikTok to Instagram, and your argument, I believe, is Instagram is the place to sell, right? So can you talk about how that funnel works?
I simply just focus on creating content that I think is going to funnel really, really well. So here's how the funnel works, and this funnel's made me well over $10 million. It starts with TikTok because it's one of the places you can go extremely viral just like in a couple of seconds. Like all of a sudden a video is running. And once I had one or two videos go like that early on in my TikTok career.
Early on, like 3 years ago.
Early on.
Yeah.
I realized that, man, why is this not translating into any sales or any followers or anything? It's because I'm not telling people what I need them to do. So I started refining my calls to action. Do I want them to go follow me on Instagram? Do I want them to go check out YouTube? Do I want them to go click the link in my bio? Do I want them to comment something so that I can have an automated message, send them a lead magnet, and blah, blah, blah. So I started kind of tinkering with that and figuring it out. And what I found was it's really easy to do low ticket sales on TikTok because there is less trust and you're just popping up on a For You page. That's why TikTok Shop is blowing up right now, because I can convince somebody to buy a $20 journal that's going to help them deal with depression or whatever, anxiety or whatever it may be, because it's $20. But if I say, hey, by the way, my true offer is I have a $6,000 coaching program. If I'm looking for this type of people, but I have hundreds of thousands of kids following, it's just not going to translate. So I figured out that I needed to get people over to Instagram. And so that's what I do. From TikTok, I push people to Instagram. Instagram pick up, let's say on a big viral video, I pick up 10 to 15,000 followers. From those followers, they're going to be watching my stories for the next couple of days. And so I'm going to continue to post the same exact post on TikTok as I do on Instagram, but on my stories, I'm going to be creating content around, it may look to the average person that I'm just kind of putting shit out there, but it's all I think about all day. In the same way that Mr. Beast thinks about YouTube all day and refining YouTube videos, all that I think about all day is creating content. I dream about creating content.
You wake up with it.
I'd wake up and all I think about is creating content. To the point where sometimes I can't even create content for like a month. I'm just like, my brain is just, I'm all over the place. But the goal is to really just get people to know, like, and trust you. And I use the Instagram stories as a nurture sequence, right? So rather than sending out emails, all the time saying, hey, are you there? Are we still friends? It's Blake here.
Yeah.
No, you don't know me. Get to know me. Let me tell you a little bit about my life. Here's what I'm doing today. Here's some of the struggles I'm dealing with. I've got some health problems I'm going through. But wow, Airbnb's been kicking butt and we made $17,000 today. And if you want to learn more, here's this post. And so then I started kind of figuring out, okay, I can set up these sequences maybe 2 to 3 times a week where it's like, first post is a poll, which gets some engagement. Second post is a question, which gets some more engagement. Third poll is, hey, here's an update on my student's testimonial. Fourth post is an offer with some shit that like I've never offered before. And so I was just coming up with all new offers, all new stories. Meanwhile, the program's kicking ass, creating testimonials. And so it's like this snake that's eating itself. Like you were saying with this, agency business, it continues to scale if you continue to feed it. So all I needed to do to feed it was make sure that the back end was like solid and sturdy. And then create content every single day that was going to drive traffic to my Instagram.
So what I'm hearing is TikTok is really your discovery channel, and then Instagram is really your relationship building channel.
Correct.
Yeah. And it's interesting because it's really simple at the end of the day. I think people overcomplicate things. It's like, I need to do every single channel. It's like, for you, it's like, no, TikTok, Instagram, simple sales call. I don't need to do paid. I don't need to do SEO. Like, I'm just going to keep it simple.
Yeah, that's it. Well, there's a certain amount of programs that we release like every single week or every single month. I'll usually wake up one day, I don't have the stuff pre-planned, and I'll be like, all right, seems like a good day to sell. Like typically Thursdays, Sundays, Tuesdays are the best days to sell.
Yeah.
Fridays, Saturdays, people are out drinking, they hate their lives.
Yeah.
Monday, they're back to work. And then so by the midweek, they're like, well, fuck, I hate my job.
Yeah.
Like, this is the time to kind of take action. So those
How
are the best.
quickly do you close them? Like sometimes like they go
I give them
party.
15 minutes.
Okay, 15 minutes.
Yeah. So I send a message that looks
Yeah.
something like this, like, hey, like if they were one of the people that respond, hey, you're one of the couple people that responded to this program, because it's not like I pre-qual everybody. So
Mhm.
that's something that not a lot of people do. They try and do the pre-qual like on a call or like on a text or an email or a DM. On my post, I say, this is the price of the program. This is what's included. If you are one of the people that has this kind of funds and wants to, work with me, DM me this.
Yeah.
So yeah, you get a few like stragglers of people that are like, oh fuck, sorry, I didn't read it. But for 99% of the people, they do read it. And so a couple of DMs come through and I say, hey, look, thanks for, reaching out. I've got however many spots are left. Here's the link to join. I'm going to give you 15 minutes to join. Otherwise, I'm going to move on to the next person.
Yeah.
Does two things. For me, it saves me time sitting there dicking around all day, or my DM, if I have a DM closer, which I'll do in the future, then have them there. But it also puts the time clock on. I'm like, hey, do you really want to take action or not? And so it's, sales strategy.
So it's 15 minutes to get on a call or 15 minutes to
here's the payment link.
Okay, got it.
And then the payment link, then we have a set of instructions and it sends automatically, everything's ready to rock and roll. But yeah.
Got it.
6K is being sent over.
Awesome. You'd spend 6 hours just for a 60-second TikTok, right?
Yeah, there's a reason why. The video that I just posted, for the people that are watching this, is a recipe to going viral. So let me break it down. The first thing that I do is I'm always trying to be a leader with my content. Like I don't want it to be the exact same as anybody else's anything, but I do take inspiration from other viral videos and tweak it in a way that I know is going to go even more viral, because the algorithm's already telling you what's working. Okay, the algorithm says this video caught our attention. It's making people argue in the comments, or they have different opinions. It's shoving it to the world. Okay, so that works. So let's take this concept and apply it to what I know and what I'm trying to teach and reposition it. So I saw this video that was like, here's what it's like to make $100,000 a month. And I thought, okay, that's great, but that's unrealistic for most people, especially I've made $2,000 to $3,000 a month my whole life up until 3 years ago. And then I started making a shitload of money. So why not walk people through the steps of what it looks like to make $5,000 a month, to $10,000 a month, to $20,000 a month, to that fuck you money, which is $40,000 a month, and really show people like, this is how your lifestyle can change, and break down the barriers of this, this topic of money that everybody has. And along the way, make some jokes, make it entertaining. And that's another thing that I learned. People want entertaining content. The reason why some of these Twitch streamers and YouTube streamers do so well is because they're entertaining. That doesn't mean that you have to like cross this boundary of being like, some of these guys say they say like racist stuff, or they'll say like, they just say crazy shit because they want to get clout. You don't have to do that. But if you can be funny and entertaining and mix in your personality with viral, content that is structured in a viral way, then you have an ability to scale at, I've never done paid ads. Literally, I've never done paid ads, and made all my money organically. So I don't know if it's a subtle flex or it's stupid that I haven't done paid, but maybe I should do paid or some SEO. Yeah. But a long-winded answer. But I think that the marketing stuff, it all comes down to studying other people and reverse engineering what they're doing that's right.
Can you walk through how you became so damn creative? Like, what's your inspiration and all that?
The problem that I was seeing when I first started creating content was that I didn't think people were doing it good enough. And I thought there was a couple of guys that did it amazing and everybody else sucked. So if I could just study them and figure out there's a structure to what they're doing. Obviously, they know something that we don't. There's a reason why every video is kicking off. And there's different ways to look at things. Like nowadays, you have somebody like Gary Vee or the Grant Cardones or whatever, where they're basically just, their whole life is content. Somebody's just clipping everything that they do, everything they say outlandish stuff. And I didn't want to be anybody that said anything outlandish. I didn't want to be anybody that was fake. I wanted to be able to be myself and show people what I knew and also what I didn't know. And there's something for the people that are wanting to get started with creating content and with marketing stuff. There's something that's sexy about being a beginner and trying to find your way and following the journey and following the process. So that was like one of the first things I learned was these frameworks I was coming up with for myself. I used to think about like, why was it that my grandma would make me stay up and wait after watching Jeopardy every single Tuesday to watch the new episode of Lost? It's because they left her on a cliffhanger. She's excited about what's coming. She's thinking about it all week. And then they start off with this crazy hook in the beginning with this monster capturing somebody and a recap and a this and a that. So I'm like, okay, so TV shows have it figured out. And what it is that they've set up a series. And so I started with a series. The space that I started in before any of the education stuff, before any of the Airbnb stuff, was in the stock trading and the crypto investing space. I was already trading and, I was learning as I was going, but I also knew more than 95% of people because they just don't teach some of this stuff in school. So I just began creating this series that was like, hey, if you want to learn how to get started investing, here it is. If you want to learn how to make money, here it is. And here's what I'm learning as I'm going. Here's this hack that I just learned that I think you should know too. I wish I knew this. And all of a sudden, these videos are compounding with hundreds of thousands of views. I don't even have to show my face, and it's way more about the information that I'm sharing and less about me as a person.
You did mention on the pod, you don't follow many people on social, but you do to sometimes get some creative ideas. Is that still a thing or?
Yes. And typically they're not going to be, I try my hardest to not find inspiration from anybody that's in my same sector. So I won't find anybody that's doing real estate stuff or anybody that's doing Airbnb stuff. I think that the best way to do that, to find inspiration from other people's content, just go on the For You page and start scrolling around. Or, I spend basically kind of like right when I wake up, first 30 minutes or like 40 minutes just scrolling. Fuck a morning routine.
Yeah.
Scrolling because my mind is firing. Then some people are night people. I'm an early
You're
morning
looking to get
person.
creative.
Yeah, I'm looking to get creative. I'm looking for something to inspire me to create a video. Then I'll open up my notes app and start kind of saving like, hey, bullet point here, remake this video, but do this style and blah, blah, blah. And then, I'll go on about my day and I'll make that video. And that's typically what's going to, lead to going viral.
Okay, so do you have a sense for how many views your biggest video got?
Yeah, I think biggest video, maybe like 10 million views on TikTok and like 3 or 4 million on Instagram.
This is cross-posted.
Yeah, cross-posted. I cross-posted.
What percent of your week do you think you're spending on creative?
Like 80% of my week.
Okay, that's important because I want people to understand that that is how much time it takes to build really strong creative, because I believe that creative is the X factor, whether you're doing organic or paid. And 80% is crazy, but it's what it takes. And that's why that's what I believe has led to your meteoric rise with success.
I agree. Yeah, I would agree. I mean, I eat, sleep, and breathe content. Do you know the reason why my content works and why I'm able to sell so much? I don't look at what anybody else is doing. And if I do, you will visibly see that my content is getting worse.
Yeah.
And that it means that I'm lost. If you ever see me trying to figure out a fill in the blank style video, it's because I am lost with my content. And I think that, to a point, I just got out of a really big rut. Like for the first time in my life, I'm naturally just energetic and positive person. And I was dealing with depression for the first time. And, I'd gotten out of a relationship but it wasn't like an ugly breakup. So I can't really contribute it to that. It was because I was losing my like end goal and like my target and, my vision of exactly what I wanted, because I'm a very like manifestation. Say what you want about it. For me, it's been everything for me. So like when I can see what the exact goal is that I'm trying to get to, and I know that like the path becomes extremely clear on what I'm trying to follow. I didn't know what the end goal was anymore, and I no longer had a path, and so I'm just creating content just to create. And so you see people just putting shit out to put shit out. Don't do that. You will be much more successful if. Yes, you can use other people's stuff as inspiration to give you like an idea. If I see some guy talking about this e-com thing, but I think, wow, it's a really good video structure. Let me try that with Airbnb, and it goes viral. Well, great, like that's fantastic. But be yourself and let other people try and start copying you, because you then look like the leader. Like you are the leader. Everybody that makes Alex Hormozy style videos, you got to say his name. You got to keep his name in your mouth. So leading the pack is huge.
What do you think the problem is with modern dating? Because look, you're very successful, right? You're in your mid-20s, good-looking dude, right? So what are your thoughts now?
Well, I mean, so I was in a relationship for 5 years. Good relationship, a great relationship, a lot of great memories. She held me down when I didn't have anything, and she believed in me when I didn't have anything.
Like
and
held you down as in like supported you, right?
Supported me.
Yeah,
I lived it, like when I was building my first business.
Yeah.
my parents were in the process of moving somewhere. Before I moved back in with them, I got kicked out of my house because we couldn't pay rent anymore. We didn't have jobs. So I ended up staying with her parents up in Santa Barbara. And, you know, like she was always there for me and supportive of my like entrepreneurial vision. And so I think when things stopped not working out for me was when I just became so enthralled with my business, because I recognized that no matter how you spend, I have no regrets about it, you know, and I've talked to her about this since then. I recognized that I had this window of opportunity to really make something of myself, and I took it. But what that took from me was like literally 16, 18-hour days for like the first 2 years.
Yeah.
That's it. I wasn't in great shape. I was healthy in terms of food wise. I wasn't going to the gym. Like somebody have to remind me to eat, because I'm like, I'm racing. I'm against the clock. Like my time was now. I saw that I had this gift, and the stars aligned. So that was the focus. And then so whenever we wanted to hang out, or she wanted to hang out more often than I did, I was not present. I wasn't a good boyfriend. I started having like eyes for other people, because I'm like not getting, I'm just in this my own world now, and I'm just like, and one thing that I am happy about is I didn't let the money like change how I wasn't like, oh, I got money now, I'm gonna go find something better. The grass is greener. But I just it stopped kind of working out, and unfortunately broke up. Since then, I don't know. I've been single for a year. I've dated kind of on and off. Never really like done any of the apps or anything. I prefer to meet people and just like, randomly meet somebody, hit it off, and like, oh, let's go grab lunch or dinner. I'm not great at dating, so I probably don't have the best.
You're an introvert, right?
With
extroverted introvert.
I don't really know what I am. I know that I'm not like great at like first dates or anything like that. So I'm probably not the best dating advice person. But I mean, what's been your experience?
Well, I mean, I just think there's like the challenge is the paradox of choice now, because like before you would date someone and it's like, well, it's hard to find someone good, so you might let's figure out how to make it work. And then now it's like any little tick that bothers you, you're just like, all right, well, I'm just gonna go look for something else.
On to the next one, I think that could be there too.
So on the health side, like, what are you obsessed with? Like, what are you doing to stay in shape? Because this guy posted what he's doing today, and then your shirt was off. I was like, damn, man, this guy's super ripped. So what are you into? What do you do for your health and all that?
Sure, yeah. I try not to be an over optimizer. It's very simple. Like where I'm at, I eat the same food basically every day. So for breakfast, I'll do like either a ground beef or a turkey with like some avocado. For lunch, I'll do a pound of ground beef every single day for lunch. And for, with some other stuff, I had this bowl that I call the Blake bowl that I make every day. And for dinner, I do a pound of steak, or maybe like some chicken or some salmon, and mainly steak though, with a sweet potato. I do that every single day. I enjoy eating that way. It removes the decision fatigue for me.
And you're cooking it.
I'm cooking it. Yeah. I mean, I could have a chef. I've like thought about it, but I'm eating the same shit every day. So I enjoy cooking. Is one of those things where when you're broke, it's a chore, and when you have money, it's if you enjoy it, it's I put on some music and it's therapeutic a little bit. And then I just take a couple of supplements. The biggest one, I started taking this peptide called BPC 157, which really started healing my stomach lining and my gut. Just very basic magnesium, some salts in the morning, stuff like that, and getting some sunlight. I try and get sunlight every day. That's it, and work out. Stay consistent with the workouts. It doesn't need to be overcomplicated. In fact, it should be very, very simple. It should be, in my opinion, a whole food diet, getting some sun, and really trying to get sleep is one of the biggest things. I don't have an alarm. No alarms. That's one of my number one rules. Blacked out my shades. Sleep way better. You have blacked out shades?
I wear this silk sleep mask.
There you go. That's murdered out.
Blacked out.
Blacked out shades. 8 hours I try and get 7 to 8 hours of sleep, whatever my body tells me, and then I wake up. I try and wait until I have that energy going of like, man, let's go fucking crush the day. And then once that's there, I roll.